little bit of a BMW E28 update. As you can see, there's a front and rear bumper, and I also managed to gain a second rear bumper. It does have a piece of damage on that corner. As you can see, the chrome is quite heavily not corroded, but it's got a lot of where they've been kept in a garage for 20 plus years. They've got a lot of this surface alright, yeah, corrosion on them, but you can see how dirty they are through storage. And of course the E28 was pretty much the same when I dragged it out. So I was over with my mates last night who sold me the car, and in the previous video I said that there were some bumpers hanging on the wall, and a pair were already sold to me, but I collected last night, and he threw in this second rear bumper which has the damage on the corner. So the rubber will clean up really well, but so in a future video I will be rust treating these on the inside surfaces, give them a good clean up, rust treat them and paint them. I don't know, I painted the last ones black on the inside because you can't see them. So whether I do it silver or black, I'm not sure yet. Probably silver is probably the best colour to go. But I'll show you the rejuvenation process when I get to them. Morning, and welcome back to One Grumpy Old Man and His Classics. Today, I think it's time we started on the ALFA 156, and I think my plan of action is I'm going to do one side of the car at a time. So I'm going to get this side of the car jacked up, get the wheels removed, get her on axle stands, and I think we should get underneath and have a look and just see what we're faced with rust wise on this side of the car. I do apologise if there's going to be any wind noise. I've not charged my microphone up, so I'm just doing it based on the camera microphone, so we might get some wind noise. We do apologise. Anyway, this is all on a budget, so let's have a look. Just find it a bit difficult to find somewhere to jack up on, so I can get the axle stands underneath. So I'm just going to go round under the rear cross member and jack up from there. Back in a minute. I've used the rear cross member, or the rear axle. I say axle. There's a, I suppose it's all part of the suspension, and there's a cast aluminium cross member on the back here. I've used a big block of wood to spread the weight, and so I've got this jacked up. that will give me better access to get my axle stand on that suspension mounting point just in front of the wheel there, so I can get my axle stand in, and then we get the wheel off. I managed to find a good mounting point in the end to come off for the axle stand, so there we go, that's good. Let's see how tight these wheel nuts are. That was quite refreshing. They came off quite nicely. Chuck these in the boot out of the way. Safekeeping. Yeah, a bit crispy in there. Never mind. You can't see that bit, can you? I mean, yeah, surface corrosion. There's a slight bit of lipping on those discs. Nothing major. It'll all clean up nice. It's just quite dirty, really. Just checking what the ferrules are like on the brake pipes. Yeah, they seem in good condition. Bit of a clean up. And just very dirty. Springs, yeah, I mean, all this will clean up nice. Give it a good rust proofing afterwards. Right, let's get this in the back of the car. Somewhere to store it. Ready for now. I think let's move on to the front. If you can see here, see, this is more like a drain hole again. There's, I don't know what that is, whether there should be a drain hole in there or quite what it should look like. Let's get my scraper if I can find it. I know I've got my scraper here somewhere. You can see how it's all the underseal is peeling off and hanging down, you know, so there's going to be a lot of, see, it's quite clearly the underseal has failed, or the underbody coating has failed, water's got between it, and then you get, this is what you get. I know Alphas are particularly prone to this, but so, and again you can see where the MOT tester has chalked it up to mark where it's, he thinks it's well, quite clearly where it's rusty. Only problem is I've got this to contend with. Got some fuel lines here, plastic fuel tank, but then if you can see here, let's see if I can get there, this plastic cover runs the full length of the car and the fuel lines are in there, so because I've got a bit of rust quite close round here, I'm going to need to drop these fuel lines and move them somehow. But my problem is this plastic cover is held on by these bolts. Well, as you can see, the heads no longer exist. They've sort of corroded off, so that's going to be a bit of fun. Or actually, I'm not sure if it's a bolt or if it's a threaded stud with a plastic nut on it. I'm not sure. Oh, there you go. We'll work our way around that anyway. Bit of surface corrosion there. I'm not concerned about that because that's not hold, that's solid. So I'm not sure what sort of bungs that these should have here, or what shape the hole should be with the bung in it, or whether it should have a bung at all. I don't know. Oh, well, actually, I think I've just answered that question myself. If we move a bit further down to the middle of the floor pan, let me just move the torch along for a bit of light. Hopefully we can see this. We've got a series of circular bungs in the floor, and this floor section is very similar to what it is at the back. So I'm guessing if I can, there we go. So I'm guessing this should be little circular holes with bungs in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not sure about the fifth one. Oh yeah, 5. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So looking further forward down the floor pan, not plan, pan. This is going to look the same. So this is all going to have to be cut out. I mean, quite clearly, I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm going to tackle that yet. Well, I know how I'm going to tackle it, but do I do it in a couple of sections, or do I do it in one section? Because, like I said in the previous video, when I do the repair and the welding on this, I don't just want to whack a plate over, and which I could do. I could just whack a plate over and smack a load of seam sealer and underbody sealant on, but I don't want to do that. I want to do the right thing by this car. So I'm going to cut out the rust, and then I'm going to make repair panels that will replicate the shape of the floor pan as it is, rather than just whack a flat plate over and bang it over and weld it on. I want to do it as nice as I can possibly get it. So it's all doable, and I'm gonna, I think, let's move down to the front and have a look down there. Alright, I'll try and do this the best I can without getting me nut in it too much. But as you can see, this is the rear trailing arm, if you want to call it that, pickup point. So I mean, yeah, it's quite crusty. More undersill that's flaking off, but this all round here up until this point is solid. So it's quite clear at some point in its life this car's been jacked up wrong. Not so bad here, but when I take you down the front, you'll be able to see where the outer and inner sill lip join, it's been crushed the other end, so it's quite clearly been jacked up wrong in its past. So this is obviously, the chalk is where the MOT tester has signalled where the rust is, which is quite helpful, but not that you can't miss it. So this lip is probably going to need to be chopped out and reformed, because it's, if you can see, it's blown in between the join. So this will have to be cut out and ground back, and then this should be like an oval hole. We've obviously lost a bit of the side and around the back there. So I mean, it's still quite thick and solid, and I think it's just going to need this bit cut out and relet into here to produce what should be the oval hole. So it's not so bad really. Back end of the sill, let's see if we can get, it's very sunny today, see if I can pick that up. Excuse my head in the in the filming. I'm having trouble trying to. We're all over the place here. It's very difficult filming upside down, especially when you're on the floor. Let's have a look. There we go. So, I'm hoping you're going to be able to see this. So we've got some more undersill coming off here. There is a hole there, but strangely there is a hole here with a bung in it, which is probably there for manufacture, but we've ended up with a hole here. So this might go through. There we go. So what I should do here, I shall cut this out and reform this and weld a nice new piece of metal in. But it just needs a really good clean up there. So a bit of localized welding there and there. This here, just like, I don't know why they've done that, because there is obviously a hole there, but for manufacture they've stuck a patch over it and then put loads of body protectant on it rather than a bung. But yeah, any surface corrosion will get cleaned up with a selection of wire brushes and stuff, and we'll give it some nice rust protection. I'll show you the rear of the floor. Moving forward, we've got some sort of strengthening plate here for something. It's only surface rust, so clean that right back and then rust treat it and give it some underbody sealant. And then moving forward a bit, same here. This is just like the undersill has just failed. I keep calling it undersill, but it's like an underbody sealant that a lot of manufacturers use, and it's just failed. It no longer adheres to the body because it's failed. Water's got behind it, and then you start getting this surface rusting, and then of course left untreated it will just turn to complete rust failure. Quite clearly there it's been jacked up incorrectly in the past, and this is like a strengthening type area, and it's bent it in. Try and pull that out the best I can, but it's not an MOT-able thing, it's not that serious. But again, the underbody sealant's failed. And then you can see where this fuel line comes along from the rear. So if you can see just there, that's a bolt, that's what holds it on. But most of them have lost their heads. Let's see, make sure I can see them out. So I'm going to find a way of getting that off anyway and fixing it back up. That's not a problem. So if I can get you, it's very sunny today, so if you can see where my hand is, if we can get some light there, hopefully I can. There we go, put my hand there. So this is not actually the bottom of the floor pan or anything. The floor pan is absolutely pretty good, but it's very. Let's have a look, see if we can. I'll put my hand there. There we go. So the bottom of the wing has rusted away, and if you can see, I don't know if you can see just there. Again, this is the lip of where the floor pan meets the sill, and it's all been squashed up and damaged. And that's, again, that's due to incorrect jacking up of the car in the past. But that can be repaired. We get that sorted. I move rare. So up the front here, I mean, you know, again, we've got, I'm gonna have to give this a thorough inspection and scrape and get all this loose underseal up. But up the front here, the actual front, let's bring you around that way, get a better angle if I can. Sorry if my filming skills are a bit rubbish today. But basically all the floor at the front, it's not holed. It's the issues is all at the back, but it's not serious. It's not major structural rust as such. Let me show you the front wing. This is the bottom of the front wing. I don't know if it's being picked up very well on camera, but it's quite soft and weak. You can see the rust on it. So this wing actually comes down and folds down underneath and then secures at the bottom here. Well, it used to. Look, there we go. I think that's part of the bracket that holds the bottom of the wing to the car. Maybe I should keep that as a bit of reference. I don't know. So the idea is up about here, I should cut this out and cut down there, and I'm going to make a new repair panel and let that in. I mean, it's got this badge on it, it says Turismo. I think that makes it go 10 miles an hour faster if you've got that on the wings. I don't know, but what do they mean by Turismo? Is that a spec? Or is it just, I don't know why it says Turismo. So yeah, let's go and have a look at the back end of the outer sill. Yeah, we can see a little bit better here from the back inner sill. So like I say, that bit of welding there. That's the chassis trailing arm mounting point, which when you read the MOT failure sheet, it sounds like it's, you know, quite serious, you know, mega serious, but it sounds a lot more serious than what it actually is in reality. But I suppose they've got to cover themselves. But anyway, so this is all repairable. Can cut that out, let metal in there, clean all this up, cut out where the damage is, and let some metal in there so we can recreate that shape and that oval hole that should be there. So, and then obviously rear end of the floor pan and whatever's hidden under where the fuel lines are, just there. But generally, yeah, I mean, it does say chassis components have got surface corrosion on them and stuff, but once it's had a really good clean up, I mean, it's quite dirty under here. I mean, most cars are, but I should clean all the springs up. That gate is not doing its job, it is now. Yeah, I think, you know, as I work my way along, I'm going to clean these discs up, give them a thorough good clean. Yeah, they're not past it yet. They've still got a bit of service life left in them. There's good pads on them. I'm going to clean all these calipers up, front and back, and make sure that they slide properly and I'm not going to cause any problems with the corrosion that's around them. You know, just make sure all the sliding surfaces are doing what they should be doing. It's not a massive thing to do, so we'll check all them front and back, clean the discs up front and back. What's the back feel like? Yeah, back feels good actually. But car's been sitting a long time. I drove it home just a few streets away, so the discs didn't get a chance to clean up with the braking. But yeah, let's make a start on this, I think. Yeah, I mean, not in this video, but the next video you'll see me starting to clean up and prep the areas and cut some rusty metal out that needs replacing. I've just realised I've got a bit more work to do yet, because obviously this here is inside the car, so this is the underneath of the carpet and some sound deadening material. So I'm gonna have to lift the rear seat base up and move that and pull the carpet back, because we don't want to set fire to the car, do we? That wouldn't be good. And of course, this is just the driver's side, so it's pretty much replicated on the passenger side. So there you go, there's the rear of the floor pan. I can't remember how bad the rear end of the end of the seals, the inner seals, chassis area. I think it's actually a lot better that side than what it is this side. Let's see if I can zoom in. Yeah, there you go. So this is the bit that should have an oval hole in it anyway. This is like the trailing arm there, the bolts to the floor pan. Yeah, we'll have to wait until we get round that side, but it's similar, you know. Undersill peeling in places, wants a thorough clean up, de-rusting, rust protection, and then some body under sealant spraying on via the compressor to get a good finish, like try and replicate factory as much as I can. So let's have a look inside, see how much I've got to strip out, just to so I can start working on this bit. Not sure how well this could be picked up on camera, but there's just a very slight bit of bubble in there, and this is the back end of the sill, the outer sill. And if I can, you can see it's a bit crispy. It's not been picked up on the MOT as such, but that again, I'm going to cut that out, make a plate for that and let that in, and then finish it off and paint it, so try and make it look as factory as possible. I've made a start of stripping some of the interior out, so got the rear base of the seat up out of the way. I've just started to strip away plastic seal covers and that. The carpet moves quite easily, but then I didn't realise this under this sound deadening is going to be a bit of a challenge, I think. So I think it's going to be a case of at least removing the driver's seat, this B-pillar panel, and try and get the carpet as much as possible out of the way, because we also have some cabling that runs down the inside of the car, if you can see it there. So I need to make sure all this is clearing out of the way, because the rust holes at the rear of the foot pan are where my hand's running, so I want to get this all pulled back and out of the way. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect the battery for half an hour or so, let that and so let the airbags discharge, because we've got airbags in the seats. I want to try and reduce any errors for airbags. I mean, I can clear them and reset them. I've got the tool to do that, but I think it's going to be good practice just to disconnect the battery for a while and leave it disconnected, especially as I'm going to be welding in the next few days. I've stripped back quite a lot of trim back. I can support that up while I'm welding, get some wood and support that out of the way. Quite clearly someone's been in here before. There's a plastic bag in here, don't quite know what that is. This plug, found this plug under this sound deadening. Something to do with seat airbag, isn't it? I think. Might be wrong, I don't know. Found that under there. Rusty old screw under there. So someone's been there before. I'm going to move these cables out of the way. And then, lucky me, I've got to strip all this bitumen stuff off, because there you go, there's one of the holes. Can't quite see the others because they're still covered by this bitumen. So this is all going to have to be cut out and lifted off. Deep joy. So that's where we are. What have I let myself in for? Oh no. That's going to be it for this video today. I think I've done enough prep, ready to start cutting, cleaning up, prepping the areas and start making some plates. And let's get welding this thing up. You know, this thing deserves to be saved. It's not that rusty really. It, like I said in the previous video, it reads a lot worse than it actually is. And as you can see what I've shown you, I mean, yeah, okay, it's rusty. I've seen a lot worse and I've restored a lot worse. But yeah, let's save this old girl. You know, I'm looking forward at the end to giving this a thorough deep clean and getting her looking good. So if you want to follow me on this journey of saving the ALFA 156, then please, you know, like, subscribe, click the notification bell for the upcoming videos. You know, leave me a comment. You know, I'd be interested to know what you think. If you've got any tips on ALFAs, you know, this is my first ALFA I've ever owned. I know there's not anything mechanically that needs doing to this. It's just to get it through its MOT and make it safe and get it back on the road again, and just do some rust protection and some rust proofing to you know, make its life a lot longer. You know, do you know what I mean? You know, so let's get this thing back on the road for another 10, 15, 20 years if we can, you know, with good rust prevention and protection. Anything's possible. So if you've watched this video to the end, I appreciate that and thank you. Give me a thumbs up, you know, leave me a message. So until next time, bye.